You're curled up on your couch, scrolling through messages, another invitation, another expectation, and something inside you whispers, not today, maybe tomorrow, but you already know tomorrow will feel the same. There's a strange comfort in cancelling plans, in staying where the world can't reach you. But here's the thing, no one talks about. That comfort isn't peace, it's protection. And sometimes we mistake survival for preference. Let me tell you about Sarah. She tells everyone she's an introvert. She says she recharges alone, that crowded spaces drain her, that home is her sanctuary, and she believes it. But if you looked closer, you'd see something else. You'd see the way her breath catches when someone invites her out, the rehearsed excuses she keeps ready, the relief that floods her body when plans fall through. Sarah doesn't just prefer staying home, she's terrified of what waits outside. This is the psychology of people who love staying at home, but it's not really about the home at all. It's about the world feeling too big, too unpredictable, too full of eyes that might see through the version of yourself you've carefully constructed. Home becomes more than walls and furniture. It becomes a fortress, a place where you don't have to perform, explain, or prove anything, where no one can witness your inadequacy or judge the person you're afraid you really are. The brain does something extraordinary when it senses chronic social threat. It begins treating the outside world like a predator. Your nervous system learns that exposure equals danger, that vulnerability invites pain, so it builds walls disguised as preferences. You start calling it self-care when it's actually self-imprisonment. You say you're protecting your energy when you're really protecting your wounded sense of self. Many people who cling to home carry invisible scars from being seen and rejected. Maybe you were the kid whose excitement was met with eye rolls, the teenager whose authentic self was mocked, the adult whose vulnerability was weaponized. So you learned that the safest version of you is the hidden version, that love and acceptance are conditional, that the world will tolerate you only if you make yourself smaller, quieter, less. Watch someone who genuinely loves solitude versus someone who hides in it. The difference is subtle but profound. One moves toward home with contentment, the other runs from everything else with quiet desperation. One chooses stillness, the other fears movement. One finds restoration in silence, the other finds escape from shame. The cost accumulates slowly. Relationships thin out because you've said no too many times. Opportunities pass because they require showing up. Your world contracts until it fits inside four walls, and you convince yourself this is freedom. But late at night, when the house is too quiet and the screen glow feels hollow, you feel it. The ache of a life half-lived, the grief of connection avoided, the suffocating weight of safety that's become a cage. You see it in others if you know where to look. The friend who always suggests staying in, the colleague who never attends social events, the family member whose enthusiasm for plans dies before they begin. They're not cold or antisocial. They're exhausted from pretending the world doesn't feel dangerous. They're managing an anxiety so constant they've forgotten it has a name. But here's what matters most. Recognizing it in yourself. Not with judgment, but with gentle honesty. Ask yourself these questions and sit with whatever surfaces. When did I start believing I was safer alone? What am I really avoiding when I cancel plans? Do I choose solitude or am I running from rejection? What version of myself am I afraid others will see? When was the last time I felt truly safe being authentic around people? What would change if I believed I was worthy of connection exactly as I am? Am I living or just avoiding dying? If these questions shake something loose inside you, that's good. That's the beginning of honoring the truth you've been protecting yourself from. Start small. Notice when you're choosing home versus escaping the world. Practice staying with discomfort for 5 minutes longer before retreating. Tell one person one true thing about why you struggle. Let someone witness you without your armor, just once. Forgive yourself for all the years you survived the only way you knew how. And if someone you love seems to be disappearing into their walls, don't force them out. Ask what they're protecting themselves from. Create space where they don't have to perform. Show them that being seen doesn't always mean being hurt. You are not broken for seeking safety. You're human. But you are also allowed to want more than survival. You're allowed to step outside and discover that the world, for all its chaos and cruelty, still holds moments of profound belonging. That you can be yourself and be loved. That home can be a place you return to, not a place you never leave. The door is always there, whenever you're ready.